Good afternoon, thanks for joining us right here on Midday Kentucky. Everyone on this, what is a little rainy Wednesday called Hump Day.
Hey, I'll take it
I'll
with
take
these
it.
temperatures. Yeah,
I'll
it's
take
nice.
it, my friend. I turned the air conditioning on last night because I could feel a bead of sweat coming down my forehead. It was 70 degrees.
Okay.
It's a little too warm in the bedroom, let me tell you. And anyway, I'll just let that go on.
Yeah.
Okay, I watched Roseanne last night, the most anticipated show to come back after 20 years. Critics are giving 10 out of 10, everyone, calling it a true classic that never goes out of style. One critic says they haven't laughed at a sitcom like that in a long time, but it hasn't all been positive reviews. And I have to say, whoever wrote that review saying they haven't laughed at a sitcom like this in a long time, I have to give this, you know what, 4 out of 10. It wasn't that great.
Really?
10, it was on for 1 hour.
Yeah.
I felt like having a cigarette after the first one. I was exhausted. Now let me tell you why. Okay. I need you to hear me out on this, ladies.
Okay.
I think they were trying to do too much in the first half hour. African-American granddaughter. They had a grandson that liked to dress as a girl. They had Darlene moving back in. They had both Jackies back on the show, one having IVF program,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Then they had Roseanne saying that she supported Trump. Then you can see here they said that they couldn't afford medication. Then Dan went in and tried to find his gun that he couldn't find. There was so much going on.
Too much. It was
There was
overload.
too much, and I have to say, that isn't a morning at a Middle America's family. I don't know. You tell me, when I just said that to you, do you feel that's a lot to put in?
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with those elements.
Right. I know what you're saying.
Feed them throughout the whole series. Because remember when Will and Grace first came on, we were so looking forward to that. And that first one was bang, straight into Trump.
Yeah.
And it's like, you never did that type of conversation in your previous episodes of the original series. Because listen, politics has been around for a long time, okay? There's always been controversy, but now to start putting it into TV shows, I want to be entertained when I switch off.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think is just too much. Where I didn't see it, 'cause, I watch my evening programming the next afternoon, when I get off work. But all the reviews that I was reading online, everyone said it was hilarious. Really glad it's back, but they didn't like the politics in it. They said it was just too much. And so I haven't seen it yet, but I'm really not enjoying that in TV shows because I like to watch news and stay informed on politics, but then sometimes with these TV shows and award shows and other things like that, I don't like the overload of politics. So I kind of wish we could that's supposed to be maybe your time to, maybe you watch the news or overwhelmed for an hour of it, and then you want a half an hour comedy to kind of end the night. And so I wish they would kind of get rid of the politics.
One of our producers said to us, I think it was Dusty, who said that this is what Middle America looks like now in the families. I get that. I get that there might be, biracial children or, there could be LGBTQ people I get all that. I get it all. But there was just too much in the first one. And by the end of the second episode, I was like, well, we're almost back. And I've been watching some Roseanne episodes over the last week just to sort of familiarise myself. It was bloody funny, people. They were really funny back in the day.
They were.
And I don't think, it'd be like bringing back the Golden Girls. They wouldn't be as funny now. Do you know what I mean? There's only one of them still alive.
I think so.
Do you know what I mean? But I still watch that show every single night at 11 o'clock. And it is darn funny. Yeah. It's really good.
I don't like when sitcoms do try to shove in too much in that first episode. It's like they're doing the retake on it, and I feel like it gets too much. I feel like it's overall, I think that people just want to be entertained. I agree with both of you. Politics, I
think so
leave
too.
Leave it to the side. Let's just
hey,
watch
very
the comedy.
quickly, I just want to do a quick shout out, which we didn't do. As I said yesterday, we're doing the Younger You TV show. We are in the full swing of it, people. It is really exciting. We want everyone to be involved. We are looking for a patient who wants a facelift.
So one more person.
One more person,
One more.
everyone. I'm super excited. We've had a couple of people email in. Now, of course, remember I said yesterday, there is a fee towards this. You receive up to 50% off the surgeon's fees. Okay, good deal. Sometimes a facelift can cost up to $20,000.
Right.
So who knows?
Right.
So there's the email, theyounger.utv@gmail.com. Now, of course, we do need to do a consultation. The doctor then signs off whether you will be the right person. So send me some images of your face, all different angles. That's the way it's going to be.
I think this is fantastic.
We're so excited.
I really
we
do.
start filming in a few weeks.
I love it. I think it's
great
awesome.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Okay, everyone, tell me, what magazines, before we get to this, what magazines did you used to read as a teenager, like 16, 17, 18?
I honestly don't know. I wasn't that into magazines.
Okay.
17 was mine.
Maybe, I guess, probably.
The magazine
Cosmo,
called 17?
Yeah, Cosmo, if I was at a beauty shop. and
Okay,
my
well,
hair
this
done.
is really interesting. Cosmopolitan magazine fans, you can no longer find Cosmo at the Walmart checkout line. The magazine uses Disney icons to target younger readers, but regularly use sexual provocativity in the content. Now, I want to ask you, is it really that racy?
Yeah, it is.
It is a racy
You'll
magazine.
see, and it's not geared toward teens. It's certainly adults. So there's always a sex topic of every
There is.
edition. You have words that I wouldn't even stay on TV that have to do with sexual body parts, sexual
Really?
acts, how to
Yes.
give the best blank, things like that.
Yep.
I actually really like Walmart doing this because it's not a government regulation, saying
Yes.
that, you can't have partially nude women or anything like that. These are businesses self-regulating the content up front. And they're still selling Cosmo. They're just not putting it right in the checkout line.
It was interesting because we put this on our Facebook page, and I'll read you one of the comments. This lady or gentleman, I should say, I'm not quite sure. I merchandise magazines, and we have a cover that goes across the front of Cosmo. Same for Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. Personally, they say they don't like seeing dead animals on the hunting magazines. Okay, there will always be something people find offensive, and completely removing it is censoring for those who have a right to buy this mainstream magazine.
But they're not removing it. They're just not putting it in the checkout.
They're just not putting
and
it in
I
the
think that's
checkout.
fine.
Right. And I agree with all of that. I mean, it is a racing magazine, but at the same time, I feel like at the checkout, I don't know if it really matters. I don't know. I don't see a lot of kids rifling through those magazines. I don't know.
I love going in a line where there's lots of people because then I go and get a few magazines.
Yes,
and
I do too. I grab them
flick
too.
through them and then I don't have to buy them because I don't believe half of what's in there. Do you know what I mean? It's just
What, the Inquirer?
just like our stories, everyone. Hey, Katie, tell us what you think. We've put it up on our Facebook page,
Okay.
Midday Kentucky. I'd love to hear your comments, whether you think it should be removed from the checkout and put into the aisles. Now you're bringing up something about Utah.
Yeah,
What's
this
going
is
on, my friend?
Utah is making headlines as the first state to make these sort of they're calling it relaxed parenting laws, free-range parenting, so-called, and it loosens up the definition of child neglect. This is allowing parents to let their children be on their own more. For example, walking to school alone, staying alone in a car. And there's still some gray areas there, but it's been in the headlines recently where a woman in Florida was arrested not that long ago because she left her child at home, and they said he wasn't old enough to be at home. And these laws are very strict in some states, and now Utah is this first state to have these free-range parenting laws. And I posted this on Facebook as well, and I had some people write in saying, well, this sounds like parenting of the 70s. We all walked to school alone,
Right.
and you're allowed.
Mother's smoking in the car, resting a martini on her stomach.
All the kids are in the back seat running around, no car seats at all.
So the arguments of the supporters say that this allows your children to learn independence and parents not to feel like they'll be criticized by it. But, are we opening a slippery slope of, should kids be allowed to do that?
Well,
or
interesting
alone?
you brought that up, Katie, because they're actually putting it into Governor Herbert, who's the governor of Utah, in May. This is going forward, and there is no age restriction as of yet. They haven't decided what age. Now, I'm thinking, yes, maybe teenagers, but I think they all should need to be trained in what there's a special thing that you say. If something happens. Stranger danger.
Stranger danger,
Is that an American thing or was it just Australian?
No, we say it here too.
Okay, so I think there needs to be something like that. I think they need to be educated maybe with a whistle or something along those lines because I don't care whether you're in Utah or some other state. I will say there are an awful amount of children in Utah, only because of their faith, and living there for 3 years, there is still child trafficking issues in Utah. And let's be clear on that. Like, I don't think kids should be going to the park alone. I don't think they should be left in the car because there is no age, and you can't be fined if something happens.
Right.
Thoughts?
But I wonder if it's up to the parents. You know, if my child's 12 and I feel that they're responsible enough to go to the park for an hour in the middle of the day and come home, I don't want to be feared of being arrested for that.
Maybe a whistle or something.
But I would want that to be my choice, not the government says they're alone if they have a whistle or if something. You know what I mean? Like, I think I would want it on me to decide if my child is mature enough, and then, you know, maybe they have a cell phone, maybe they have a whistle.
See, it makes me nervous talking about it because I worry about
I do
what
too.
could happen to the kids.
Unfortunately, there's so many good people in this world, but there's so many bad people out there. And even back in the day when we could walk to the park by ourselves, and my mom could drop me off at the pool when I was 5 years old, and nobody thought anything about it.
I used to ride my horse to the school.
Right.
I'm not joking. You know?
But you know what I mean? It's like, you know, this is a different world, but yet even back then there was some freaks that I came across.
We just didn't know about
it.
Tell us what you think is the right age that this should sort of be happening, and whether we should introduce it into the Kentucky law as well.
I just feel like it's a beacon saying,
okay, very quickly we want to jump across something that you found on the web and it regards, you know, child abuse, really.
Yeah, well,
could you tell us what you think?
Well, a mother is being accused of abuse after feeding her young child wasabi. And so what they're doing, they posted this video of the child eating the wasabi, and I think we have the video clip for it as well. But I don't know. You guys take a look and see what you think.
Okay. Try wasabi?
No.
Do you want to try it?
No.
Okay.
Wasabi.
Do you want to try it? Smell it. Smell it first.
Help.
See, and that's the kicker.
All right, so here's the thing. It looks like all of you when I fed you Vegemite.
But you know, and that's the point of this.
It wasn't let's be clear, because the story is a little bit deceiving everyone. It said a spoonful of wasabi. That was just a little taste.
It was a little taste, it was.
Yeah.
But
and it's how she looks as well. You know what I mean?
Know,
what was she eating before?
But she said no. She said, "Do you want to try it?" No. She said it 3 or 4 times on the video. It's like, okay, Mom. I mean, I get that you want to, you know, have your child explore different tastes in this world and all the different foods and spices and whatnot, but this is something I just felt like it went too far. I felt like she pushed it too far. I do.
The funny thing is I have 6 godchildren, and 2 of them were eating sushi and sashimi not long after they stopped feeding on the bottle.
Yeah.
And they used to eat the wasabi and soy sauce, and I used to think to myself, these kids are crazy.
Yeah.
You know? But they are so healthy and they eat everything. So here's the thing. I don't think it's child abuse. Do you know what I mean? I think it's okay to give them a little taste. Like my grandma and Nuna used to put things on the, you know, on their little finger and rub it on your gums. And I don't know.
Well, I wonder if, and I don't know the backstory on this mom, but sometimes I get a little squirmish seeing these videos online that are being recorded. I don't think it's child abuse to do it, but I wonder if, I think a lot of people try to go viral. You always see people feeding their babies like lemons or things like that.
It's child abuse to be filming
And I don't think it's child abuse. I just wonder if it's sort of like putting doing it for the wrong, you know, like trying to go viral and
put your child in harm's way.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. We'll be in trouble. Hey, head over to Midday Kentucky's Facebook page. Tell us what you think, everyone. We'll be back after this short break. You're watching Midday Kentucky.